Hi, I'm David Meinz. Thanks for joining me for Brain Power. This is the second part of our three-part series. In part one, we discussed immune power and how you can maximize your body's natural defenses against those things that can make you sick. In part three, called Vitamin Power, we'll look at what I call the Super 7 nutrients that you need to seriously consider for optimal health. My guess is that several of them are going to be a surprise to you. But our topic today is how to make sure your mind is working at maximum efficiency. You've heard it said that we only use about 10% of our brain. That's just a myth. In fact, the majority of our brain is almost always active. Let's see if we can help you keep it that way. Do you occasionally have trouble remembering somebody's name? When you take a shower, do you sometimes forget if you already washed your hair? Do you go into a room and can't remember why you're there? Do you sometimes repeat yourself? The bottom line is, are you as mentally sharp as you were 20 years ago? In today's fast-paced, hectic world, you need your brain to be hitting on all cylinders. The health choices you make today can have a profound impact on the quality of your brain health now and in the future. You know what? It's time for our first quiz question of the day. You have 30 seconds to respond and choose the correct answer if you know what it is. Here's the question. Which of the following will not help your mind stay sharp? Is it computer memory games, a healthy diet, collecting stamps, taking vitamin B12, or losing weight? You have 30 seconds. Choose now. Here's a surprise. Computer memory games are good at helping you learn computer memory games. They don't do a thing for your mind. Don't believe me? Let's look at the details. You've probably heard about the brain game called Luminosity. Lumos Labs, the company that makes it, was fined $50 million by the government for making false claims about the brain health benefits of their product. It turns out they couldn't afford the $50 million fine, so the government settled the case for just $2 million. And you can still buy their products today. Frankly, there is little evidence that Sudoku, crossword puzzles, or computer training will keep your brain healthy. They don't help brain function, memory, or delay dementia. The bottom line, the research indicates that brain games only help you get better at playing brain games. So what does work? A lifetime of learning works. Many studies have found a lower risk of dementia in people with more education. Those in professional or managerial jobs who read more and are more involved in mentally stimulating activities also seem to be less susceptible to dementia. So the lesson is to stay mentally active. That, in and of itself, won't necessarily protect you from Alzheimer's, but it may give you some protection against the dementia symptoms of the disease. Learning a new language or how to play a musical instrument can actually help your mind stay sharp too. This is interesting. Autopsy findings have shown some people who remain mentally sharp while alive actually had brains with advanced Alzheimer's disease. Researchers believe that ongoing learning and engagement in life allowed these people to build up a so-called cognitive reserve of neurological networks that compensated for those areas that were affected by the Alzheimer's. Here's a word to the wise. Please don't think that doing Sudoku or playing solitaire is going to make up for a lifestyle that includes obesity, inactivity, and not taking your blood pressure medicine. What you need to do is take a class at the local community college, sign up for piano lessons, and learn to speak Italian. So put down the crossword puzzle, go take a walk, and do something good for your brain. And speaking of beverages, let's take a look at coffee. Did you know that Americans drink a whopping 400 million cups of coffee every day? Every day. The average serving size is 9 ounces. That's more than any other country in the world. Coffee has been our national drink ever since the Boston Tea Party, and it accounts for about 75% of the caffeine we consume. It is by far the source of our most popular legal drug. And the surprising good news about coffee is that there is very little bad news. Hey kids, guess what time it is? It's time for our last quiz question of the day. You know the ropes. You got 30 seconds to respond. Let's see how you do this time. Which of the following is a false statement? 90% of Americans consume caffeine every day. Caffeine is dehydrating. Pregnant women should limit their caffeine intake. Coffee is the #1 source of antioxidants in the American diet. Or coffee drinkers are less likely to develop diabetes. This is your last chance to redeem yourself, and you know who I'm talking about. Vote now. And we're back. The answer is B. Contrary to what you've heard, caffeine is not dehydrating. All the other statements are true. Let's look at those details. The coffee bean, like all plants, contains many different naturally occurring compounds and chemicals. Some of those are the good antioxidants that help our body protect itself from damage. As a matter of fact, a recent study found that coffee is the #1 source of antioxidants in the United States. Not necessarily because it's such a good source, but simply because Americans just drink so much of it. If you really want lots of antioxidants, instead of drinking more coffee, start eating more fruit. Blueberries, dates, and red grapes are especially high in antioxidants. The British Medical Journal did a meta-analysis, again a big review of a lot of studies, and it was designed to look at all the existing evidence on coffee's effect on health. The bottom line was that, other than in pregnancy, the benefits of coffee outweigh any negatives. This is really good news. Both regular and decaf coffee consumption was associated with a lower risk of death from cardiovascular disease. The greatest benefit was seen at intakes from 3 to 4 cups of coffee a day.